how desires create suffering. Now, I've come across this concept only by reading a book called The Almanac of Naval Ravikant. And he discusses about the Buddhist concept that desire is suffering. Essentially, you sign a contract saying you will be unhappy until you achieve your desire. And I think it's quite true. Because if we don't have something, we're quite unhappy until we get it. Then most times, what happens is we do get it, but there's no joy or happiness. It spikes, but then we go to baseline. Like the best example I can give, it's like these headphones. I think 2 years ago, I was looking at the Sony WXH 1000 Mark IVs. The Sony headphones that are supposed to be the best noise cancelling headphones on the market. And I was looking at it. I think we got it for Christmas. Now we have it. And it's not really, how do I put this? Wanting it was actually more emotional than having it. And I was discussing this with a friend. Essentially that from a Hamza video, he was saying the problem with the self-improvement space as of now is the desires of other men are inserted into the desires of young men. Which I find true. I find very true. And also listening to another podcast, The Diary of a CEO. I can't remember who Steve Bartlett was interviewing. I think it was like the author of I Will Teach You How to Be Rich. He's like an Indian American. And he would ask this question where, he'll ask a young person, what do you want? And he'll go, I want to do what I want, where I want, whenever I want. And then he'll ask, so what do you want to buy? And they're speechless because they haven't gone that far with their thinking. Because then the guy who was being interviewed has this concept of rich life. Essentially, you choose what desires you want, or you choose what is more important. For him, for example, he likes to move around. So he rents. For some people, it's more important to own your house. For him, it's not that important. What he spends more on is going on holidays with either his wife or his friends. And also the car he drives. He drives a Honda Accord. And he's supposed to be a millionaire. Again, if you want to have a desire, don't play the status game. You have to be okay with looking poor, in quotation mark, because who cares if you look poor? Like, if you have $1 million in the bank account and you're walking around the streets and you're wearing just jeans and a shirt just because you like wearing jeans and a shirt, who cares? Like, it shouldn't matter. Like, if you wear a Louis Vuitton because you like wearing it, not because you want to impress other people, then who cares? But in terms of desires, you have to choose. I think it's better to choose desires that aren't in materialism or based in materialism rather in experience. Same friend I mentioned before in this video, I said to him, because he was sort of like down because he couldn't afford like Jordans. I said to him, would you be happy if you only owned one pair? He said yes. For the rest of your life, he said yes. I think we're told we should desire having the freedom to do whatever we want. But the thing is, when we earn the money, we have to spend it on something. Either it's in a savings account, either it's in a super fund. Okay, for you Americans, a super fund is like a Roth IRA or a retirement fund in Australia. For retirement, or it sits in our checkings account waiting to be spent. So I said to him, you gotta choose your desires. which, which I can give an example. I was looking at a Seiko watch, and I went into the email list that they notify when they're back in stock, and I got the notification a week ago, and it's $6,000. And I don't think I'm going to spend $6,000 on a watch, because I don't think it will make me really happy. Like, me desiring it is going to make me unhappy, so I'd rather eliminate that desire altogether and consciously choose which desires is most meaningful to me. Because again, some kids are going to say, I want a Bugatti, I want to live in Dubai, I want to own an apartment, I want to own a Rolls Royce, I want to have, what's the name? A Rolex. Blanked on luxury items for a second. But these desires aren't theirs. Because they aren't yours. And once you do, if you do achieve them, you'll find that you don't want it. Especially men on self-improvement. What we actually want to desire is improvement of self, which is quite achievable every single day. Simply improving by 1%. And it's small habits. And in terms of wealth, who knows, if you start small, like for example, when you go into the sales, hopefully once I do land a sales job, I improve myself 1% every day. And eventually, I go into marketing, and then I go into start a successful business by having those knowledge of sales and skills, but then also maybe product development. But that's that desire of becoming financially wealthy. I said to my same friend, would you be happy with 100 grand, 150 grand a year? He said yes. And then maybe we go to Japan or go to Asia for a month as a vacation. Like, that sounds like our dream, like our rich life, rather than Andrew Tate's dream life of being in Romania, setting up a compound. Because I feel like it's the transference of people's desires onto other people. It's particularly like the self-improvement space, the red pill space to young men. Because young men have no direction, so they rather listen to an authority for direction. When most of the time, it's a matter of self-reflection to find out what you truly want. And for myself, what I truly want probably is just location freedom. So I don't think I'm going to own a house. I'll own a house, I'll buy it in cash once I have a family. Laptop, Kindle with all my books, this camera, maybe a microphone, a better computer maybe, but I'm satisfied with what I have now. Like, because I'm satisfied, because I have not so many desires, probably my only couple of desires is wealth. But I know that's just a natural process. I can't focus on the $1 million. I have to focus on the input rather than the desire of the outcome. I have to focus on the input. So actually, I'm quite happy. Like, your unhappiness stems from focusing too much on the outcome. That's something you cannot control. But desiring wealth, that's probably a good one. Desiring health and fitness, that's another good one. Not that you'll be, don't develop body dysmorphia if you're unhappy with your physique, but knowing that you're on the journey should make you happy enough. Knowing that you're making progress towards your goal, that will make any man happy. So, just know, don't desire these materialistic things. Choose what you want to desire. And make it very little, because you have agreed to yourself, if you have these desires, that you will be unhappy until you achieve them. Then in the end, what you find out is you actually feel nothing once you do have them. Focus more on the journey, on the input, not the output, because the output will take care of itself. So that's basically the concept of desiring, creating suffering. So be content with where you are, but always improve yourself. Because that's always the mistake. It's like, be satisfied with what you have, but don't be complacent. Because if you're not growing, you're dying. So thank you for watching, and I hope this was valuable to you.